BMW N52 MSV90 engine computer does not start maintenance. Let's look at the power supply. This socket is the fifth corner in the top row. That's 12 volts. The lower corner is the wake-up call. The wake-up signal should also be connected to 12 volts. A normal machine will turn on. Standby current is about 350 milliamperes. When the motherboard adds 12 volts, standby current 350 milliamperes. The 12 volts coming in from this socket. First go through this diode D100. The ones lit up in red are connected. Then go through this filter inductor L101. After this fuse R101, it will be delivered. This power supply tube U101 is here. Then this R101 is a point of failure. R101 is easily damaged and cannot be turned on. This 12 volts is sent to the power supply tube U101 on the one hand. On the other hand, it is sent to a main power supply U103. Just this 12 volts. The power supply doesn't work. That is to say, it will not have these voltage outputs.
Window tal come si vieta. Perché non soggivetta 12 volte. Simulate ti su Sinal. Ti su Sinal lo salto elettro utis resistor. Delivere tutti su 103. It shows area total sideaso. It means that the areas connected points on total sidearms. Le sui su side B. Dopo Oxinal is sentano ter retro utis resistor. After the CPU receives Oxina. Will send a command to the main power sub B103 per door. Start power sub B. 103 output control signals from T sign NTL. E data control T su 101 to work through this resistor. And from here, 5.8 volts is put out to drive. When control signal output by 103 is normal. Dove from can be measured with an oscilloscope at this point above. 36 start output of 101 also as waveform. So L e TST e STT connect 12 volt cable to Oxinal cable. Plus 12 volts. You can set up both points and waveforms. Qui alle 5 e 8 volts do salto e tutto 102. L'output from T-Sangre is 1.5 volts to the CPU. Another way to the main power sub 103 volt. 3103 output 3 e 5 volts rispettivei. Per is also a 3.3 volt voltage. In standby state degger. This power supply section outputs a total of 5 voltages and 3 e 5 volts and on 3.3 volts. Enter zone and half volts. It doesn't turn on the anno. We need to measure these 5 paths. STR any power supply. Measure the resistance of these 5 power supplies to SH o RT circuits buteres accettata. Because of Fior 101, it has to work. It is controlled by 103 CPU. That is to say the CPU is not working properly. For example, US o LDR it also makes 101 without a 5.8 volt output level. The 101 has a 5.8 volt output level.
For example, we encounter one that doesn't turn on. After we add 12 volts, and the wake-up signal is also connected to 12 volts. It turns on very little current, almost no current. None of these 5 voltages are output. But in cases like this, many cases may be caused by CPU virtual welding, but many masters will replace this first. U101 or replace U103, these two powered chips. But you are replacing this U101 and U103. It is possible that you replaced it with a broken one during the process. The point of failure is in the CPU. But you don't know, you replaced it with a broken one, created a new point of failure. That's very troublesome. After you change it, you don't know after replacing the broken one, then go around and fix it. Here's a way to do it. Yes, this one doesn't turn on. In the power supply part, none of the 5 voltages are output here. How to accurately determine whether it is on the CPU side? The problem is still the power supply side. Because of the U101, it has to output 5.8 volts. It is controlled by the CPU and U103. So we now artificially add this to it. 5.8 volts is not controlled by the CPU, also not subject to the 5.8 volts controlled by the U103. After artificially adding an extra 5.8 volts, even if the CPU is removed, as long as U102 and U103 are good, then the U102 will have a 1.5 volt output. The U103 will have 3 5-volt outputs. There is also a 3.3 volt output. So let's test it out. We use 2 power meters. A power meter tuned to 12 volts. Power it up normally. Wake up here and at 12 volts together. Then the other power meter is adjusted to 5.8 volts. After adding 12 volts, the current in this power meter only moves slightly. But this is not necessarily the case with electricity. Part of the problem. In many cases, the CPU is virtually soldered and there is no current. The output of the 5-way power supply will definitely not be measured. Then many people will replace this power IC. We use another power meter. Add 5.8 volts to that 5.8 volt point. After adding 5.8 volts, the current of this voltmeter here has gone up. Let's measure those voltages again. If you take 12 volts and after this 5.8 volts, none of the 5 voltages are output. It means that UL3 is damaged. The 5 voltages just measured are available. 3 5.0 volts, 1 3.3 volts, 1 1.5 volts. It means that U102 is good. U103 is also good. The point of failure is in the CPU or U101. I hope this method is helpful to everyone. Improve maintenance efficiency. Now let me introduce this maintenance collection to you. Because friends often send private messages to ask, what model and function do we have in this drawing? We will explain to you in detail. One of the most important functions is the bitmap. Double-click to open the directory. This green icon is a bitmap. There are 2 ways to do a bitmap. One is to use that physical main board as a base map. But it can be lit. A group is connected. It shows here that the other side has. That is to say, there are also connected points on the other side. We can switch to the other side by clicking above. You can see the points connected on the other side. This is necessary to repair that short circuit failure or it is a disconnected fault, which is very helpful. And there is a tutorial on the bitmap. We've run this board clearly. It's clear at a glance. You don't have to spend time running boards anymore. For example, this BYD charger. 220 volt AC input. That's the zero line up there, that's the live line down there. After the live wire goes through a fuse. After going through the fuse comes a filter inductor. After going through this filter inductance, it was sent to the pre-charge relay here. Here is a pre-charge resistor. 220 volts is output from this point after ME filtering. No matter whether you are studying, still working, or even teaching, can greatly improve this efficiency. Another kind of bitmap. This base map was manually drawn. Then this kind of base map drawn manually. So what we do is we take the grounded one and we put the gray one. Roller zoom in and out. Press and hold the left button to drag. You can switch between side A and side B above. The function of both bitmaps is the same. The above are all with tutorials. And what we're going to do is we're going to plot this bitmap. Make it a bigram, so-called a bigram. That is, you can open the bitmap and the schematic at the same time. The scroll wheel zooms in and out of this schematic. You can switch between schematic or bitmap above. Double-click on the bitmap and these parts above will automatically find this part on the schematic. For example, double-click the point Q1 to 3. You will find Q1 to 3 on the schematic. The reverse is also true. For example, let's double-click this Q27. He will find Q27 on the bitmap. This is a double drawing by Willmans. It is convenient for teachers in the training class to use in class. The red icon here is documents, some documents. And those maintenance manuals, maintenance cases. It's all this icon. The line color of this route diagram is different. Which floor is it on? There are maintenance manuals and maintenance cases. There are many maintenance cases, all of which are graphic tutorials. The most asked question is, what exactly is our drawing? What model is available? Just one word. Our dream is to make all models well. The current models include the full range of Tesla models. All the model modules are ready. For example, this 4.0 AP version. The bitmap has tutorials on it. With voltage data with this resistance. Very practical. There are also many domestic new energy vehicles. For example, your ideal L6, L7, L8, L9 host. What BYD charger compressors these? You have more than a dozen chargers from BYD alone. And now we have added a lot of fuel trucks. For example, the square machine computer, the engine computer, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, Porsche, etc. And we can also customize the drawings for free. What drawings do you need? Please tell us the model number. We give priority to making your drawing first. Generally, it can be done in about 20 days. If you need it, you can go to my homepage to place an order at the Douyin store.